run.
Hey guys, welcome back. I wanted to give you a quick update on the Deadeye Molten Blast build that I've been putting together. Since last time we actually had a bit of a eureka moment to help with our Clearspeed. I found a video that I will link in the description that showed some cool interactions between Cast on Shock and Voltaic Mark. And using that and just shock proliferation, I have been able to really increase my clear speed on the build. Now, it's not going to be to the same level of clear speed that you would find on a Herald of Ice interaction or a Herald of Ice build, but that particular interaction with Herald of Ice and Herald of Thunder might be getting nerfed eventually, so I'd prefer to find something that was purely based on lightning damage and was likely to not get nerfed. So what we're doing is we now have added in a Cast on Shock to our build here. First thing to notice, of course, is that means we need 60 additional spirit that we did not have previously. So I'll show you the gear that I've added in a minute, but think of that thing first. You definitely need more spirit, or you need to make trade-offs on what other auras you're going to be running. So Voltaic Mark is a skill that marks an enemy and makes them more susceptible to being shocked. Once that marked enemy dies, there's a lightning nova that will explode around them, and that lightning nova will have a really high chance to shock others in the surrounding area. And so we're basically using that plus some supporting gems here for increased gained energy, as well as the energy retention gem to help refund some of the energy cost to shock a lot of enemies around our character. And hopefully you saw some of that in the gameplay footage that I showed at the beginning of the video here. I think that will help show good examples of the setup that I'm running now and how it plays in game. But basically it's fairly simple. You just have Cast on Shock with Voltaic Mark. I'm using Inspiration for the mana cost because without Inspiration, this cost is like 74 mana. With Inspiration, it's 45 mana, so it's definitely significant. I also use Herald of Thunder here to help keep my Electrocution built up, because if you recall, I'm using Combat Frenzy and Charge Infusion for more skill speed, which means faster attacks when I have Frenzy charges, and to do that, because I don't freeze, all I do is lightning damage, or most of what I do is lightning damage, so I need to electrocute things. So that's the way that I keep my attack speed up. Normally what you would do in a build similar to this is you'd go one-handed and you would grab the Dance with Death keystone to get more skill speed, but I wanted to use two-handed, or two single one-handed weapons, and so to compensate for that, that's why I'm doing Combat Frenzy and Charge Infusion. You'll notice now that I have changed the skill tree back to kind of what it was at the beginning from that first video, because of this node right here. So this is Shock Proliferation. This allows for existing shocks to spread to other enemies. And so you could anoint this and continue taking more points up here, but I wanted to pick up this one naturally and then path down here, because I can do things like this where I pick up extra shock chance and electrocution buildup in the same node, and then I could pick up these area of effect and proj speed, proj damage nodes again. These 5 evasion nodes are really value heavy, because between the two of them you have 140% increased plus these 15, so these 45 means with 5 points here you can get 185% increased evasion, which is pretty good value. Now that I'm coming back down here, I'm probably not going to actually anoint Lightning Rod, and instead what I'll most likely anoint will be Wild Storm, because it is the one that's the most out of the way. Anyways, so that's the build these days. It definitely helps with clear. I did end up, because I picked up this chest piece right here, so this is how I'm doing it. I traded out my previous chest piece over here. So I traded out my previous one, which was a really good evasion roll plus a really good life roll, in favor of a decent evasion roll and a really good spirit roll. So that's how I make sure to get enough spirit in order to enable me to actually add on the Cast on Shock setup instead of just removing other buffs that I was using instead. So anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this. I'll probably roll a little bit more footage here at the end to kind of show you a little bit more gameplay. But yeah, thanks for the encouragement on the previous videos, guys. It really does mean a lot. And I hope you guys enjoy this. I know that this build has been a fun one to put together for me. And I can't wait to see where we can take it in the future.